Hello everybody, and welcome to my top 5 Pokemon TCG Black and White supporters. The rules for this count are simple. They had to be within the Black and White set. And this is to commemorate the fact that Black and White series is gone. It's done. There will be no more Black and White Pokemon TCG sets as of right now, or at least for the next few years. The new sets will be the new X and Y sets. And Legend of Treasures was the last set. So to commemorate that, we're going to do the top 5 countdown of each and every little section. Then at the end, we'll have the top 10 cards ever, not ever, of that whole entire Black and White. But so yeah, here's the top 5 supporters. The rules are simple. They had to be a Black and White from a Black and White set, and they had to be playable. Go down to the least playable or the least good or to the most playable. So yeah, without further ado, let's begin with number 5. Number 5 on this? Alright, hold on. There we go. Ah, crap. Ah! What the hell am I doing? Alright, there we go. Yeah, number 5 is Getsis. As you can see, your opponent reveals his or her hand and shuffles all item cards found in his or her deck. Then draw a number of cards to the number of item cards your opponent shuffled top of his or her deck. And even if you didn't have no idea what the hell I said, then you can just simply read it right there. So this card was very good. Well, this card is pretty good. It's good in decks that take away items or just make you shuffle your items back into your deck. This is good against Blastoise and Rayboy, which are very prominent right now. Fortunately, it does not get a whole lot of play, but it gets more play than Bianca and Sharon. By the way, they're not on this list because they're just not current anymore, you know? Sharon and Bianca were, what, 2 of the supporters that will also be on the list. Alright, so yeah, let's get down to number 4. This was good, but not as good as this one in my opinion. Remember, this once again, this is mostly just my opinion, but I'm playing Pokemon right now, so yeah. Colress, this is the full art version. Shuffle your hand into your deck, then draw a number of cards equivalent to the bench Pokemon of yours opponent. So that means you could draw anywhere from like none to 10. This is very good, but late game. But this is also very situational. So, I guess it's a very situational card. You only want it during certain situations. So this is why it's not as high on the list as it should be. Also, another reason why it's not as high on the list is because, well, Colress really isn't that valuable as compared to Anne and Juniper. It's actually less valuable. There's actually more Colress than there is. Actually, there's more Colress that's sitting in people's minds than in Juniper. But then again, there's pretty much in everyone's decks. This is maybe 1 or 2 in every other deck, honestly. And it's not really that great of a card. I mean, it's good, but in a format where Juniper and N already exist, it's not really that great, you know? So, yeah. Here's number 3. Skyla, the gym leader herself. She's actually I think she's the only gym leader that actually makes an appearance during this game. During the card game, actually. I think so. I don't remember seeing. No, there was also Silent. And there was also Iris as well, so yeah. But, yeah, whatever. But Iris and Silent are more Ash's friends than gym leaders at this point, to be honest. But, still. Anyway, Skyla is... What she does is let you search for any item card in your deck. Or actually any trainer card in your deck, meaning Stadium, a Pokemon Catcher, Spirit Energy Retrieval, Stadium, or maybe even an or Juniper. However, you don't want to play too many of this, and while it is only for one set, and it is a little bit expensive side, this really isn't all that great. You don't there's not too many decks that want to play 4, and even those who play 4, it's not a need. You don't need to play 4, you know? It's more of a it's recommended you play 4. I mean, recommended? Well, not recommended, but it's more you could play 4, but it's rather you would probably play 3. You know, maybe give the extra slot to Getsis or a Colress or an Iris or something like that, you know? Maybe an extra item. Or energy or something, you know? So 4 really isn't needed in most decks, except for maybe 1 or 2, so... But it is a very good, strong card in the format. It allows you to search for any trainer card. That's pretty strong. Not as strong as numbers 1 and 2. Now, it's no big surprise. Numbers 1 and 2 are very... It's very simple what's 1 and 2. What's number 1 and 2 is N and Juniper, but 1 in order. I've actually been trying to make this list for the last month, but I just couldn't sleep at night because I couldn't decide what I put at number 1 and what I put at number 2. At one end you have N, which allows you to shuffle, which makes both players shuffle into the deck and draw equivalent to the prize cards. Now that does seem bad at first, the fact that your opponent also drawing cards, but at the same time, what if they had to have a hand of 7 after using your Tropical Beach? You end them down, and they only have 1 prize card left. You end them down to 1. That is good. That wins games, or prevents people from winning a game. That is so good. But what about Professor Juniper? Say you got N down to 1. In the same situation where you use Tropical Beach, so it ends you in the top of your deck, you pull Juniper. Or you use up all your cards last turn, and the top of your deck's a Juniper, and all of a sudden you have a fresh hand of 7, and you could just win the game because of the cards in your hand, you know? Seriously, these cards are game changers, and honestly, but which one is the better? I mean, N's disrupts your plan, but at the same time, giving you a good hand as well, or getting the cards you don't want in your hand. I bet giving yourself a fresh hand, you know. So this is a good card. Like I said, this is really tough for me to choose. N or Professor Juniper. N or Professor Juniper. You know, drawing 7 cards is good, and drawing 1 card is also good. So what the hell is gonna win? I really can't decide. It's too tough a decision, but after long delayed thoughts, I've decided I was gonna put, without any further ado, this is... No, this isn't number 2. Or is it? Not. This is number 2. That's right, Professor Juniper's number 2. You know, I really don't need to explain myself. Just card your hand and draw 7 cards, you know? That's so good. But in any format, that'd be just ridiculously good, but this is even better, more ridiculously good in the current format. Just because of what it does. N. So N is officially the best supporter of the Black and White series. Juniper's 2nd, Skyla's 3rd, Getsis is 5th, and Chloris is 4th. I know I said that a little out of order, but also, what about the honorable mentions? I should have said this before getting to number 1 and 2, but the honorable mentions are Skyla, not Skyla, but Iris, Sharon, and Bianca. Bianca allows you to draw up to 6 cards, which isn't bad, I guess, but it's a good starting supporter, and so is Sharon. Allows you to draw three free cards. Just why would you get a Bianca or Sharon when you can get an N or Juniper instead? You know, seriously. And Silent is also an honorable mention because Silent allows you to search for 3 energy cards, which is good in Blastoise-ish, but not really all that relevant. The other card that was good, Iris. What Iris does is allow you to search, not search, but for every attack, for every prize card your opponent has taken, your Pokemon does 10 more damage during that turn. which is good during late game, you know? It's not good when you want to put 3 or 4, but some decks play at least 1 or 2 at this point. And maybe I should have put this over Gets's, but I just see Gets's more often, honestly, than Iris. Plus, Iris is a dead card at half the time, and Gets's is almost never a dead card. Like I say, if you're playing a Blastoise deck and they use Tropical Beach and you use Gets's, good. I'm pretty sure at least half of their hand is going to be around 3 or 4 cards is going to go back into their deck, which is pretty good. But still, that was my top 5 Pokemon TCG supporters of Black and White. Please like, subscribe for more content, and I'll be doing more countdown videos of the Black and White series. So, thank you, and please have a